BOOZHOO NANABOOZHOO podcast. And I was going to have our friend Anamosh introduce the show. So, Anamosh, you want to come up here and say something to the folks? Well, BOOZHOO Nej Anishinaabe Doog. Welcome back to the show. Welcome back to BOOZHOO NANABOOZHOO, the podcast about Ojibwe language and culture. Anamosh, an indigenous cause. Anamosh is my name. And that's the Ojibwe term for dog. I'm just an old res dog, I guess. So, wanted to stop in, maybe talk a little bit about Ojibwe language, Ojibwe culture. Michael, you think you're gonna sing a couple of songs? I was thinking about it. So maybe Michael will sing a song. I think NanaBOOZHOO's got some stuff planned he wants to talk about. And of course, the lovely and the talented Natasha. I suppose she'll be making an appearance too, huh, boss? Yeah, I suppose she will. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, without further to do, please welcome Michael Lyons. Take it away, boss. Thank you, Anamosh. And so, yeah, that was Anamosh. And for anyone who's new to the show, this is the BOOZHOO NANABOOZHOO podcast. And the co-host, I suppose, is the lovely and talented Natasha. Natasha, would you like to say hello? Ikaton BOOZHOO to the people. Say hello to the people. BOOZHOO Kakina! Hello, everyone. What are we doing here? So you want to learn Ojibwe? Welcome to the show! My name is Natasha, and the lighting's a little weird, but I think we're doing okay. And, yeah, so, should we do a song? Yeah, I'm working on it. Okay, this is a song we recorded, and, not a lot of people, what'd you just do with your hand? Not a lot of people know this. But, this song, tell them that it's human nature. Why does it do me that way? That was actually, the piano part was written by the guy from Toto. La 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 down in Africa. There's that or more could ever do. I press the rains down in Africa. Anyway, so we kind of ripped off the piano part. Let's see what you think of this. Whenever you're ready, Michael. So you want to learn Ojibwe language and culture. You've come to the right place in Asia to learn about it all. Welcome to NanaBOOZHOO, the podcast about Ojibwe language and culture. BOOZHOO, NanaBOOZHOO, the podcast about Ojibwe language and culture. So BOOZHOO, And how's everybody doing tonight? BOOZHOO NANABOOZHOO Niman Wayne Michael's checking the podcast online to see if he can see the quotes. Do. So yeah, Michael Jackson. He's been gone for about 9-10 years now, I suppose, huh? Leaving Neverland. How come all these rock stars have homes with names? Like Michael Jackson has Neverland. What did Elvis Presley have? Graceland. Yeah, Graceland. And he lived in the jungle room in Graceland. Why do you gotta name your home? Do you have a name for this place? No, it's just a rental. Yeah. Well, here we are in Graceland. Here we are in Neverland. You know, I'll spare you guys the easy jokes about Michael Jackson and Neverland. Like, you know, hey, where should you put your kids unattended? Neverland? And so, yeah, Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson kind of thought of himself as Peter Pan. He never wanted to grow up. But it was pretty creepy, really, when you think about it. You know. I mean, wasn't Michael Jackson really, you know... we know what Michael Jackson was, but Peter Pan. He sneaks into somebody's home. He abducts the children. He's got some weird little woman with him, dressed all scantily clad. Tinkerbell. I mean, what kind of a name is that? Hi, I'm Tinkerbell. I'm the world's smallest stripper. And they sprinkle some sort of drugs on these kids. They fly away, and they go to a land where they can totally racially stereotype with the Lost Boys. Oh, we're the Lost Boys, are you? What, because you're Indian? Yeah, I don't like Peter Pan. You know, the only good person in that whole movie was Captain Hook. Captain Hook was trying to save those kids from being abducted by Peter Pan. You know? I think we should have taken Captain Hook to Neverland. See what was going on there. You know? Maybe we should have sent Johnny Depp. We should have sent Captain Jack Sparrow to go check out Neverland. Anyway, so at least one person's watching. BOOZHOO NANABOOZHOO. What do you think the Ojibwe word of the day is going to be? I don't know. I was thinking maybe we could talk about the days of the week. Well, we did that pretty recently. What is today? Floor washing day? Gazibiki Sakanake. It is floor washing day, which is the Ojibwe word for, you know, what you call it? Saturday. It's the day to wash your floors. I don't know, man. Watch live video. So, Saturday. Whoops. It's the day to wash your floors. Just watch live video. I see there's a little bit of a lag. So you want to learn Ojibwe language and culture. And yeah, so just hanging out. Gonna be rocking and rolling all night, partying every day. I guess Kiss is gonna be doing a live concert again on New Year's Eve. Yeah, I heard that. Are they gonna be in Dubai or something? Mm-hmm. They're gonna do a virtual live whatever. My question is, will they wear masks? You're gonna put on all that makeup and then wear a mask? I don't know. La la la, la 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 la. So yeah, BOOZHOO NANABOOZHOO, teaching the Ojibwe language and culture. And so we covered Michael Jackson, and we covered Peter Pan, and I don't know. Do you want to play a song? Yeah, maybe I'll play a song and we'll wait to see how many people show up. All right. Well, once again, I don't know how many times we're going to introduce you. Ladies and gentlemen, please say hello. Ikadon BOOZHOO, say hello to the creator of BOOZHOO NANABOOZHOO, Michael Lyons. Take it away, Nietzsche. Thank you, Natasha. So yeah, looks like it was 3 of us here right now. I'm looking kind of red. I'm looking like a red man, like a red skin. So I was in a band once with 3 other Native Americans. And it was in the 90s. And during my college days, Indian people tried to reclaim the term redskin. They started calling themselves skins. Hey, BOOZHOO, Barbara. So it'd be like, you know, how many skins are going to be there tonight? Oh, you know. And so I'm in this band and we were talking about what should we call ourselves? You know, indigenous has already been taken. And the one guy goes, well, there's 4 of us skins. We could call ourselves the 4. No, let's not. We're like, yeah, let's not call ourselves the 4 skins. So, let's see, what should I play? Oh, this is a new one. I know this is a really old one, actually. Pretty women are walking with gorillas down my street. From my window I'm staring while my coffee grows cold. Look over there, there is a lady that I used to know. She's married now or engaged or something, so I'm told. Is she really going out with him? Is she really gonna take him home tonight? Is she really going out with him? If my eyes don't deceive me, there's something going wrong around here. Around here. Tonight's a night when I go to all the parties down my street. I wash my hair and I kid myself, I look real smooth. Look over there, there is Jeannie with her new boyfriend. They say that looks don't count for much, well, so there goes your proof. Is she really going out with him? Is she really gonna take him home tonight? Is she really going out with him? If my eyes don't deceive me, there's something going wrong around here. Around here. But if looks could kill, there's a man there who's marked down for death, 'cause I've had my fill. Listen, you, take your hands from her head. I get so mean around the scene. Hey, 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 Something's going wrong around here. Something's going wrong around here. Something's going wrong around. Joe Jackson. Awesome. I so need this feeding my partner. Oh, awesome. And BOOZHOO Makade Richie. Or Makadewa Richie. Nice to see you here. First Ojibwe word I ever learned was Makade Mushkiki Wabu. Black medicine water. Speaking of which, I think I'm out. Black medicine water is the Ojibwe way of saying coffee. And when I was like really young, I started drinking coffee. When I was 6 years old, I suppose, 5 or 6. We lived in a basement apartment of my grandparents' home. And I lived in the top bunk, or I slept in the top bunk, in a room that was directly underneath the kitchen where my grandfather would get up every morning. And my grandfather was one of these old-time fishermen guys who would wake up at 4 in the morning and make coffee and stuff. And back in those days, and it's sort of the Indian way, I read this thing once, like differences between Indian parenting and non-Indian parenting. And they said culturally, Native people are adult-centered and white people are children-centered. So like in a non-Indian family, the grandma and grandpa will put on the birthday hats and, you know, play with the kids, do things the kids like. And in my family, you know, like my grandpa just did his life, and sometimes you could go along with him, you know, if he was going to go to the dump or if he was going to go fishing or something. He just lived his life. He didn't do kid stuff, but he would let you do his stuff with him. And so, you know, I could hear him walking around upstairs. And so I'd get up and go, you know, see my grandpa. And he'd be like, oh, well, here he comes, little 6-year-old boy. I guess I'll get him a cup of coffee. That's what I'm doing. And so he'd pour me a little coffee, put a bunch of milk and sugar in it. And then I'd just sit with him at the table. He'd read the paper, watch the sun come up. You know, maybe he made me breakfast. I don't even know. But I remember the coffee. And then him telling me, you know, Ojibwe words like Makade Mushkiki Wabu. Showing me his tattoos. Back when it was a novel thing. Like when I was a kid, the only people that had tattoos were veterans. You know, guys who went to war. And they'd get something that would say, you know, Guadalcanal, or, you know. My grandpa had a tattoo. It was like an Indian maiden with these braids. And underneath it said Leona, which is my grandmother's name. So, why try and know why this feeling inside me says it's time I was gone. Clear head, new life ahead. It's time I was king and not just one more pawn. Fly by night away from here. Change my life again. Fly by night, goodbye my dear. My ship isn't coming and I just can't pretend. My ship isn't coming and I just can't pretend. My ship isn't coming and I just can't pretend. Yeah, yeah. Rush, Fly by Night. You know what I think is weird? And I saw this happen with my dad. And I remember being a kid and thinking, I'm never going to just listen to the music that was popular when I was a teenager. I'm going to stay current with music. You know, I felt like I was sort of sophisticated. And I wasn't going to be like my dad, just listening to Buddy Holly and Elvis and, you know, people he listened to back in the day. But what I learned is that every cliche about getting older is absolutely true. You know, the years go by faster. And you know, you start to wear these rose-colored glasses about the past. You know, like whatever's different now from when you were 18 is, you know, not as good. You know, well, back in my day, you know, we had respect for our elders or whatever. And with music, it was the same sort of thing. What I noticed was that I'm less apologetic about going, yeah, my favorite music's the same stuff I've been listening to since 1985, like Joe Jackson. You know? And I'm kind of closed-minded about learning new music. I was really closed-minded about country music. And I still don't know very many country songs. But another cliche thing about getting older and becoming conservative, I started liking country music somewhere after I turned 50. You know, every time I turned on the radio station, you know, I was sick of hearing Aerosmith or whatever. And so I'd scan around, and every time I found a song that sounded good, it'd be some sad story country song, like new country even. But here's an old country song. How's it go? Well, I hear that train a-comin', it's rolling round that bend, and I ain't seen the sunshine since I don't know when. I'm stuck in Folsom Prison while time keeps dragging on. When I hear that lonesome whistle on down to San Antonio. Johnny Cash. Every bar band in the world has to learn that song. I mean, because we all know it, guitar players. A lot of us sort of learn how to play guitar by playing E and A and B9. And we usually have, at least guitar players in my generation, we would learn stuff like Folsom Prison because our elders knew how to play it. You know, it was a song like my dad would have taught me how to play. And so every band I've ever been in, one of the first songs we play is Folsom Prison Blues. And then the second song we all play is just the basic blues riff. Sometimes it's called Red House or... There's a red house over yonder where my baby stayed. There's a red house over yonder where my baby stayed. I've been home to see my baby 99 and 1/2 days. Wait a minute, something's wrong. My key won't unlock this door. Oh no, I think there's something wrong. My key won't unlock this door. I got a bad feeling. My baby don't live here no more. It's alright, I still got my guitar to play. Another song guitar players from my generation always learned was this. of people living at homes. But I didn't really feel like a real guitar player until I learned this song. Blackbird singing in the dead of night. Take these broken wings and learn to fly. All your life, you have only waited for this moment to arrive. Blackbird singing in the dead of night. Take these sunken eyes and learn to see. All your life, you have only waited for this moment to be free. Blackbird fly, blackbird fly into the light of the dark black night. So, yeah, what should we talk about tonight? Oh, I've become old and closed-minded about music. I only like the old stuff. I grew up in LaPorte, Minnesota, and it was a population of 111, I think. Remember those old John Cougar Mellencamp videos? And they'd show him like living in a small town, and there'd be like one street light. And then he'd be by like the population 1,050. And those of us in LaPorte were like, holy man, that town is 10 times the size of ours. And I was born in a small town, and I live in a small town. I'll probably die in a small town or a small community. All my friends are so small town. My parents live in the same small town. And my job is so small town, provides little opportunity. Small town. Anybody out there from a small town? You know, I don't know how things are going to go here in the near future. But I've been hearing that we should be getting out of the cities. That, you know, when the next whatever thing happens, it's going to be the people in the small towns who have their own guns and food source that are going to make out well. You know, I'm surprised the internet never went down. There were some rumors going on. I remember last summer they're going to be, oh, there's 3 days of darkness. They're going to pull a plug on the internet. Or, you know, how come there's never been like a successful terrorist attack on the internet? When I was a kid, I was a huge David Bowie fan. You know, I discovered David Bowie, and it's weird now because you listen to those old songs and they're not nearly as weird as we thought they were in those days. You know, especially by comparison of what people are trying to pull now. But in 1983, David Bowie was really a hero for a lot of us weirdos, you know, artist types. you know, because he wore eyeliner and pushed, you know, gender stereotypes way back in the day. And because like rednecks and stuff hated him, then, you know, people like me, he was our hero. Don't let me hear you say life's taking you nowhere. Angel, come up, baby. Look at that sky now, life's begun. Nights are warm and the days are young. Come up, baby. Where's my baby? Lost that soul. Once I'm begging you, save her little soul. Come up, baby. Run for the shadows. Run for the shadows. Run for the shadows in these golden years. Last night they loved you, opening doors and pulling some strings. Angel, come up, baby. Walk luck and you looked in time. Never look back, walk tall and fine. Come up, baby. I'll stick with you, baby, for 1,000 years. Nothing's gonna touch you in these golden years. That's my Natasha voice. Go, golden years. Go, whoa, wop, wop, wop. Go, whoa. One of these days, and it won't be long, gonna drive right down where you once belonged. In the back of a dream car, 20 foot long. Don't cry, my sweet, don't break my heart. Doing life, you've gotta get smart. Wish upon day upon day. I believe, oh Lord, I believe all the way. Run for the shadows. Run for the shadows. Run for the shadows in these golden years. Golden years. Hey, Mary. Mary White is here. The government totally sucks, you silly gooses. The government totally sucks. The government totally sucks. Well, let me tell you something about the government. They're messing up the environment. They're taking all the beautiful animals and making them so they're extinct. The government totally sucks, you silly gooses. Government totally sucks. The government totally sucks. But in the land of love and freedom, freedom, what is it? Freedom is just a baby's breath away. And if we hold hands together, we can bring back the USA, the USA. I'm screwing that up. Bring back the USA. Tenacious D. And the government totally sucks. Woohoo, yeah! She'll adore you, and she'll floor you with her wisdom and her vision. And you'll love it, and think of it, till you lose all intuition. Never about it seems so good. Never leave her, but you know Anybody here old enough to appreciate Kiss still? Kiss lost a lot of fans when they came out with Dynasty, because the rumor was it was a disco album, and that was right at the height of the downfall of disco. Voice. Tonight, I want to give it all to you. In the darkness, there's so much I want to do. And tonight, I was made for loving you, baby. All right. See, do I know any good songs? A man Bojangles and he danced for you in worn out shoes, silver hair, ragged shirt, baggy pants, in the old soft shoe. And he jumped so high, then lightly touched down. I met him, I was in the bar in New Orleans. I was down and out. He looked at me to be the eyes of age as he spoke right out. And he talked about his life, laughed back instead. For those in minstrel shows and county fairs across the South, he said with tears of 15 years how his dog and he would travel around. But his dog up and died. 20 years later he still grieved. Mr. Bojangles, Mr. Bojangles, Mr. Bojangles, dance. Dance. Did a show recently where we talked about a comic book that I had illustrated and wrote called Grief Relief. And NanaBOOZHOO just kind of talked about, you know, what is it? Got gay, you know, healing from grief. And talked about that story and how Bojangles grieved the death of his dog for 20 years. And that was kind of what was behind his drinking and getting arrested and stuff like that. Grief is a tough thing to deal with. That's the other thing about getting old. You know, if you're lucky enough to live long, you have to get good at saying goodbye, because not everybody does. In the last few years, I've lost, you know, a handful of high school friends. It changes your perspective. too small. All my friends would mock me. You think so strangely and you speak so softly. Well, I wish that I was more like you, a spider on my wall, so very small. What else? What else could I do? What else could I do? What else could I do? I don't know. So, wow, I've been on live for 42 minutes already. I thought I was going to be on for like 15 minutes. Doing these live streams feels a lot like the old open mic nights. When I first started doing the podcast, you know, if I'm being totally honest, the BOOZHOO NANABOOZHOO show was mostly a commercial for telling people to link to my Amazon page to buy my comic books and my children's books. For about a year, I had a comic strip called OJIBWE that I would I'd put an Ojibwe word of the day, Ojibwe phrase of the day on Facebook. And then after a while, I had a collection and I made a book. I should have brought those over. A collection of gibberish cartoons and just a lot of my artwork. And I wrote and illustrated a series of Ojibwe language books for children. And so I thought, well, this would be a good way to get people to maybe click, and then I can tell them, hey, buy a book. And then it became much more, I became much more involved in the videos than I was drawing cartoons. Where was I going with this? So BOOZHOO NANABOOZHOO. You ever do that? We start a story and you don't know where it's supposed to go. Oh, open mics. And so, you know, the first couple of bits, BOOZHOO NANABOOZHOO, he would sing a song and tell an Ojibwe word of the day. And I thought I would never run out of material because, you know, if you just chose one word a day, you know, he could always have something to talk about. But then we started doing more music, you know, telling stories. And then it turned into almost like a variety show with like stand-up comedy, puppetry, music. And it was taking a lot of my time, you know. I would get up really early and, hey, Jim, how you doing? I think this is great. I love the puppet show as well. Thank you so much, Jim. I appreciate that. I was taking up so much of my time, and I'm like, why am I doing this? It's really, if I just paid for some Facebook ads, I could sell these books. And my views, you know, compared to, you know, real YouTubers were pathetic. You know, I would get 20, 30 views. But then it occurred to me where if I went to an open mic night and 20 or 30 people showed up to hear me play a couple of songs, or, you know, if I had just, you know, 15 minutes, that's enough of an audience for whatever I want. Whether it's views on a puppet show or reading from my book or viewing a comic book or whatever. So it was enough. And now, that's what it is now. You know, there's 5 people here. And I kind of feel like I'm doing a virtual open mic. There isn't anybody off the stage kind of going, come on. There's a line of people here who want to get up there and get their applause. Tilt that so you can see my guitar. So, yeah, any requests out there? know every song. Not how to play it, but I've heard of them all. Well, that's not even true. There's so many songs that I'm just, because I'm an old man again. I haven't been paying attention. Anytime I hear of a new song, I kind of go, sounds like crap. The kids don't understand it. Great, I go to Grand Portage every year for the last 27 years and stay at NANABOOZHOO Lodge for a week. That's awesome. So last time I cared about new music was in like 1992, 93, and the Counting Crows. I thought that was a good album, and Dave Matthews Band. For the last times I discovered a new band and went, hey, I'm going to buy that album. You know, then what am I going to do, buy Cardi B music? Oh, Simple Man. Simple. I don't know it. Sorry, dude. That was one of those songs. It's a 3-chord song. I remember my last band, the bass player would sing it, and I used to know it, but I don't know the lyrics. Is that Neil Young? In my life, I'm a lot like you were. Old man, look at my life, I'm a lot like you were. Old man, look at my life, 24 and so much more. Live alone in a paradise that makes me think of you. Loss is such a cost. Anyway, so the Counting Crows was the last time I cared about new music. In a long December, well, there's reason to believe maybe this year will be better than the last. Can't remember the last thing that she said as she was leaving. Now the days go by so fast, and it's one more day up in the canyon, one more night in Hollywood. Oh, it was Mark that requested that. And I'd like to see my buddy Mark again. Lives in Alaska. Na 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 na. What you doing in Alaska? La di da da da. Another great request. You guys are reminding me that I don't know all the songs. Cats in the Cradle and the Silver Spoon. I used to know no, sorry, I don't know any who did that? Cats in the Cradle and the Silver Spoon. Let's see. Copperhead Radio? Vietnam tunes, okay. Hey Mark, we got a Vietnam vet. We got a real warrior here tonight. My buddy Mark, who's also watching, was in the, he was a paratrooper. That's another thing. Now that I became old, when I was young, I was like distrustful of alpha male types, like military guys and cops. And now I just got pulled over 2 nights ago, and who shows up? My cousin. He's like, "Hey man, what are you doing?" Got his flashlight in there. Talked for a while. He goes, "Yeah." When my partner told me who it was, I was like, "Well, you're not giving him a ticket." And they went, "Yeah, I got family and police." Let's see. Do I know any of those? Yeah, here's a Vietnam song. There must be some kind of way out of here, said the joker to the thief. There's too much confusion, I can't get no relief. The businessmen, they drink my wine, plowmen dig my earth. None of them along the line, and nobody of it's worth. No reason to get excited, with people kindly spoke. For there are many here among us who feel like life is but a joke. Whoa. Outside in the cold distance, a wildcat did growl. 2 riders were approaching, and the wind began to howl. All along the watchtower, princes kept their view, while other women came and went, barefoot servants too. Outside in the cold distance, thank you for your service, Jim. I don't know where we'd be here right now without men like him. So yeah, Vietnam. I won't even bother to ask you about Vietnam because I've heard enough of the stories to know that when people who are really in Vietnam don't talk about Vietnam. Say, oh yeah, I killed a whole bunch of guys, you know. So yeah. Let the circle be unbroken. Let the circle. How about this one? I hurt myself today, See if I still feel. I focus on the pain, the only thing that's real. The needle tears a hole, the old familiar sting. Try to kill it all away, but I remember everything. What have I become? My sweetest friend. Everyone I know goes away in the end. You could have it all, my empire of dirt. I will let you down, I will make you hurt. Did you guys ever see that video? It was like a week before Johnny Cash died. And yeah, he was so great in the end. And that song was so perfect for him. And it's like an old house in the middle of this field with overgrown grass. And he's sitting at a table looking 100 years old, you know. I go to classes, or I used to. I wonder if they'll, you know, it's not like the schools are totally closed, but I don't get any gigs. I haven't gotten any gigs this year to come in as a guest speaker to any schools. And last year at this time, I was like touring Minnesota as a visiting speaker. And I bring my guitar and the puppets. And, you know, I'm talking to like fourth graders and stuff. And the one song they all got excited for was this one. Because I think it's on one of their video games, like Rockstar or something. So, Sweet Home Alabama, they still know. That's one of those songs that I took a long time to learn the guitar parts. But I never sang it, so I don't know the lyrics. Big wheel, keep on turning. Take me out to see my kin. Something about the Southland. Neil Young is a redneck or a Yankee or something. How about him? That's more impressive on a electric guitar. You're in the Twin Cities? No, I'm about 4 hours north of Minneapolis. I live in Bemidji, Minnesota. And Bemidji is famous for the Paul Bunyan and Babe statue. They say that's the second most photographed tourist destination or something. Not tourist destination, but most photographed thing in America after Mount Rushmore. And like if you ever see a movie about, you know, bad vacations or dorky places that people live, they'll invariably show a picture of our Paul Bunyan and Babe statue. And, you know, when I was younger and cool and more cynical, I used to hate Paul Bunyan. It's like, oh, it's so dorky. Everything around here is named Paul Bunyan. You know, our telephone company is Paul Bunyan Communications. Main Street is called Paul Bunyan Avenue or something. There's the Paul Bunyan Mall and the Paul Bunyan, you know. And I'm like, what is the obsession with this giant lumberjack and a blue ox? Like, I mean, yeah, nothing says northern Minnesota like blue oxes. I've never even seen an ox in real life. But then I got old, and when the Antifa, Black Lives Matter stuff was going on, and they were tearing down all these statues, NanaBOOZHOO did a show where he was like, "Dear Antifa, please leave Paul Bunyan alone. Yeah, I understand he represents, you know, clear cutting of northern Minnesota, or the white something or other patriarchy, but, you know, he's ours. Don't do anything to Paul Bunyan." You know, you can have the Statue of Liberty. You want to tear down the Statue of Liberty? I'm fine with that. The thing is creepy. Great big green transgendered thing nobody understands. You know, I mean, while you're tearing down, you know, pictures of Columbus, don't forget the Statue of Liberty. That thing's an eyesore. I had friends went to school in Bemidji. Oh, cool. At least he had a babe. Yeah, kind of creepy too. That he names his only friend this large bull with no male genitalia, by the way. We all checked. So I think babe's a female. You wonder why that bull was so blue? Do you guys remember the Breakfast Club? Nope. Won't you come see about me? I'll be alone dancing, you know it, baby. Tell me your troubles and doubts, giving me everything inside and out. Love strange, so real in the dark. Think of the tender things that we were working on. Slow change. All right, well, it's been about an hour. Why don't we say hello to NanaBOOZHOO, and then I'll let you guys get back to your lives. Like, you can't just click away. But NanaBOOZHOO, would you like to say something to the people? Maybe teach them some Ojibwe. Oh yeah, I've been standing around here in the wings just waiting. I've been waiting in the wings. You know, you and I really have similar voices. You really think so? Yeah, I kind of feel like your voice is just my voice with more of a res accent. Oh, that's ridiculous. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome NanaBOOZHOO. Okay, hey, BOOZHOO everybody. How you doing? Welcome back to the Michael Lyons show, I guess. This used to be Molly Ringwald. That's right. Molly Ringwald wouldn't even be considered hot anymore. Have you thought about that? She was like, oh, she's the princess. She's the most beautiful, popular girl in the whole school. And you look back at that movie now, you're like, oh, wow. Just some skinny ginger. In the 80s, that was the best we could hope for. Just skinny. We didn't have these bombshells they have in movies now. But, yeah, so, today's Ojibwe word of the day. Nagamo. Sing. And, I remember singing with Benny Tonts. I used to work at the Leech Lake Tribal College. And when I was there, I didn't work much, but I learned a lot. Every day I would go and learn powwow songs and how to drum with my old friend Benny Tonts. He was 83 years old, and we shared an office. And he would teach me Ojibwe words. And then we'd go down around 10:30. He taught a class But basically it was me and him and the janitor and security guy, Willie, would sit and drum. And if kids signed up for the class, they could listen, ask questions. That was his class. So, but he would always start, he'd be like, hey, Nagamunda, let's sing. Nagamunda. But when you read it, it's like Nagamoda. I don't know where the N is, but when he pronounced it, it was always with an N. Nagamunda, let's sing. And he'd start pounding on that old drum. You guys want to hear a drum song? Michael, why don't you take over a second here, and I'll try not to ruin the illusion. Yeah, so Benny Tones. For about 3 years, I worked at the Leech Lake Tribal College. And Benny Tones was a friend of my grandmother's from the old days. And his first language was Ojibwe. And so a lot of the Ojibwe I know I learned from Benny. And when I did my first children's book in Ojibwe, I asked Benny to check the spelling and the, And it's tricky with Ojibwe because with different reservations, they'll have different ways of saying things, even up here in Minnesota. Like if you count to 10 in Ojibwe from Leech Lake, it's like Bejig, Nij, Niswe, Ni, Win, Nanan, Nin, God, Waswe, Nij, Waswe, Nish, Waswe. But if you go to Jungaswe, if you go to Red Lake, it's like Nij, Waswo, Nish, Waswo, Jungaswo, Daswo. And so it's hard to do like, well, this is how to say count to 10 in Ojibwe, because it's really like, well, this is how the Ojibways count to 10, or the Leech Lakers count to 10. I can do this. Up here. Her out of the shot. Is that gonna work? So most of the songs just gonna follow the 4/4 beat. But there's also 2 steps, which was like what I never heard was what you see in all the old movies. It's hard to do because I'm not left-handed. Let's see if I can sing and move my mouth and the drumstick in time. Way, way down, hey, weda, hey, Yahweh ho, weda, way, Yahweh ho, Yahweh ha, weda ho, way, ho. The way it gun, the drum. The way it gun, Nagamoin, a drum song. All right, Michael, why don't you want me to say goodbye? No, I might as well because I got to take off your glove. All right. Well, I'm going to say, oh, by the way, if you're interested in ordering some NanaBOOZHOO merchandise, there is no link to it. Why didn't I do that? I don't know. But our Teespring, we have some new t-shirts, mugs, and some masks that say BOOZHOO. And I think they're called neck something. Those tight things people put over their faces now so they don't get the COVID. So go to Teespring, BOOZHOO NANABOOZHOO, if you're interested in getting some expensive t-shirts that say Hoa. All right, and I will see you again. Otherwise, tune in. We'll have a new show tomorrow. Or maybe, actually, probably tomorrow. And I want to thank all you guys for being here. And Michael, why don't you say goodbye, because I'm going to get off camera. GOFUNDME, Minowa. Thank you, NANABOOZHOO. Ah, no problem. Thank you, Natasha. Yeah, okay. Anyway, Mark, good to see you again. And put in eye drops. My eyes still look red. It's nobody's business why. And so, thank you guys for watching so much. I feel stupid. Mark's one of my oldest friends. And I can say goodbye to total strangers. And have a pleasant tomorrow. But I feel like I'm hanging up on... Mark, maybe I'll give you a call. What time is it? It's not too late. I'm going to call you, Mark. Hey, thanks, Jim. And once again, thanks for your service. I mean that. All right, have a good night, you guys. And I will see you again. GOFUNDME, Minowa.